Eibishter. There's a Lashon, mit der Rabbanon warfen sich nicht. The Lashon, we give a cover to the father-in-law, he's only the Rabbanon, but mit der Rabbanon warfen sich nicht. But you don't play around with the Rabbanon. What's the aim behind it? Because this is Ratzon Elyon. The Eibishter wanted it to be revealed only through the Rabbanon, but Mela we should go L'Kula. But that itself is the Eibishter's will. So Mela, in that aspect, if we look at that way, they're all equal. So there's differences, and they're all equal. This is what I wanted to tell him, that it could be all the Eibishter's Ratzon, and still there's different levels. The same thing, we get Lifnat Tzimtzum, although over there everything is the Eibishter, Eira Kol Batzmusa, whatever we'll get to. Still over there, there could be different things. Everything is here because the Eibishter wants it should be. That's what's felt in there. The same thing in mitzvahs. There could be kalas v'chamuris, but there's one equal common denominator. This is what the Eibishter wants.
So what does that have to?
What does that have to do with the levels of Lifnei Tzimtzum?
No, what is no?
Well, levels of Lifnei Tzimtzum, because we're saying that even there's differences, but they're all equal. They're all here because this is what the Eibishter wants. That's what's felt in them. Whether it's Alis Rotzen for Elamis, whether it's Legalas Atzmusei. There's one thing. The Eibishter could do whatever he wants. If he wants, I'm here. And that's what the Eir feels. It's not just that because of the Eibishter he feels vertis. The Eir realizes he's called Bamor. Why am I here? Because the Eibishter wants I should be here. Because the Eibishter decided to express himself in this thing. There's nothing to me. Only because he wants I should be. Because he's yicholti to do it. That's what he made. So even though it's something else that's being made, something else is being expressed, but it's only because yicholti.
There's nothing.
They're there. Even if you say Emetzius Lagnuzes, and Emetzius from Emetzius is da. We're not thinking them. If we're speaking about it, obviously they're there, and they, the whole sum of everything you learn in Chassidus is that there's different levels in Lifnei Tzimtzum. Yeah.
So he's trying to speak about kavanas and mitzvahs, and before we're talking about kochos abayim ba'Kabbalah, so
because kavanas and mitzvahs is the inap b'seichel, the time of the mitzvah. Then you can have different levels. It could be a higher and lower. But if you're speaking, why am I doing the mitzvah? Not because of the time Shabbat. Well, as Eifel, the Eibishter, like it says, also says there's a kavana close in mitzvahs and a kavana protis. Kavana close is kim rotzen elyon. Kavana protis is according to what this thing has to impact, whether it's in a person, whether it's in elam salyenim. So that there could be differences. But in that goof itself, if I'll take the kavana a step earlier, why this kavana? As Eifel, the Eibishter. So mitzad them, what's the difference? So the value of rotzen, they're both equally.
So we're just giving an example of Hagabala and Ischakus.
Right. Now the Rebbe takes it. Here we're speaking in mitzvahs itself. Now the Rebbe is going to take it between Torah and mitzvahs. This is precisely the difference between Torah and mitzvahs. Torah, there's different levels. There's deeper things. There's pshat, there's remesh, kol yonah Torah yesh b'im chilukim b'chinas eira chochma shebehen. There's difference how much chochma there is in it. And then pleasure and Torah is also different levels. So in this is what we find Shabbat and Torah. Al kol dibur v'dibur porchon nishmos. Every word Hashem says, the neshama went out and wasn't able. The guf wasn't able to handle it. So the neshama went out. They weren't just learning Torah, the seichel Shabbat Torah. Then they were able to handle it. The problem or the advantage, whatever you want to look at it, was that then was revealed the taining of the Eibishter in Torah. Or the whole dibur v'dibur, yes, taining protim miyuchet. And every expression, the Eibishter said, anechi, le'iyah, every one, there was a different expression of taining. Al kain, therefore, al kol dibur v'dibur, they went out. The neshama of the body. But here it's really a kov of two things. Because on one hand, tainug is unlimited. What's the idea of pleasure? There's no limitations. There's no heipach tainug, no tzad, there's no engshaft. It's everything is good. But in this gufa, there's different levels according to the thing and what it's involved. Therefore, there was an each dibra another idea of kleis hanefesh. But mitzvahs is not the idea of seichel. It's not the idea of tainug. Torah is seichel. Seichel and tainug are really work very together. Even though b'chlal we know everything a person does is connected with pleasure. It says in Gemara, it says a poor person, it says kol yemei oni roim. All the days of a poor person is bad. Why? Because he never really has pleasure. Because he comes to eat supper in the winter, he has no money to pay for his electric or to have a candle even burning. So he doesn't see what he's eating. So he doesn't have pleasure from the eating, so it doesn't satisfy him. That's what the Gemara says. So we see that even food, the fact that it gives the person, it satisfies the person, is because there's the pleasure in the eating. That's the idea of tainug, which is everything. The kiyum of everything is the tainug. But it says Chassidus that seichel is much stronger connected with tainug. Why does a person understand things? Every person understands things differently. Why? Because that's their geschmack. And in the Amy case, when a person understands, you see when you tell someone a deep thing, he starts smiling. What are you smiling? Is that a joke? He's not saying a joke. He says the geschmack. It's good. Becomes good. Why? Because seichel is geschmack. So he says that since Teira is tainug, and each dibur, each in and Teira has its tainug, therefore it was every time another expression, another yitzis hanasham. Mitzvahs, mitzad rotten elin shebem kulon shavin. If we look, the fact that mitzvahs, this is what the Eibishter wants. There's no difference, no more want, less want. It's the Eibishter's will. He says over here, another thing we find the difference between Teira and mitzvah is just.
Wait, he's playing with words.
Which words?
What in Torah is it? There's chilukim in the Torah from what?
Mitzad the chochmeh. Mitzad the tainug shebahem.
Okay, but
There's two things. You're learning
give me a
halachah.
practical example.
Practical example.
Like in the Gemara,
Like in the Gemara,
Shakla V'Tarya.
Shakla V'Tarya is deep.
That's what you mean.
That too. Or you have Kabbalah with
So in that aspect, there's different
levels. Yeah.
And in the aspect of the mitzvot, the fact that it's all Ratzon Elyon, it's one thing. But every mitzvah is different, no?
There's different things I have to do. But
No.
what's the common denominator of all the mitzvahs? The Eibishter wants me to do it.
Okay.
And what's Pshat he wants?
But each, the Torah and the mitzvot have these two aspects. That one, they're Ratzon Elyon, and at the same time, there's different pratim in them.
Yeah,
But what makes one different than the other?
Why do you say? You're asking why do I stress and Teira the chochmeh and not the rotzen?
And not the Ratzon.
The whole chochmeh and Teira just because the Eibishter wants it like that.
Yes.
And the mitzvahs, you could say in lapel, the Eibishter wants to do this and that. So there's differences, there's details. There's a chochmah there, how to do it, and then what I'm doing, and what I'm getting involved. And there's the kavana, why I'm here, I'm stressing this, here I'm stressing this.
Yeah.
Very good question. Let's put it like this. When I'm learning Teira, what am I doing? It says a lashon in regard to something
Sometimes
else.
you fall asleep.
Ah?
No, just
You're falling asleep?
sometimes. I'm saying when I'm learning Torah, I fall asleep. You say, what are you doing? Sometimes I fall asleep.
It says a lashon like this. It says na yem yem.
So you get the tainug from Teira that way.
It says in Teira, it says in na yem yem that there's two ways. There's when a yid davens, it says, and then there's when a yid learns. When a yid learning, he's like a student by his teacher.
Right.
His davening is like a child by his father. What does it mean? I'm not going to go to the depth. I'm in the simple meaning.
Yeah.
When I'm learning, I'm gaining knowledge relating to my seichel. When I'm a child and the father, it's my whole essence is connected. It's not just a certain thing, right? Now let's go to mitzvahs. I'm doing a mitzvah. What's the idea in the mitzvah now? I'm following through what the Eibishter wants from me. I'm a kind of mitzvah. It's not about me getting the Eibishter, understanding the Eibishter, getting it into my intellect that I should become one with what I'm understanding. Now I'm putting myself aside. What does the Eibishter want from me? And that's what I'm doing. It's the bittul haratz. It's like a slave to his master. He's not understanding the master. Why does he want this from me now? He wants I should do this and this. Why does he want me to do it? That's not now the time.
Okay.
That's a different time.
So that's why it's all Bishab, and the other one is all pratim.
This is Rotz, this is I want. The master, the slave feels, the master wants for me to do it, and that's it. I'm not here. I'm doing whatever he told me to do, whether it's to take out the garbage, whether it's to cook a meal, whether it's to make him a bracelet, whether it's to teach his kids, whatever it is, it's equal to him what he's doing.
Right, okay. But they both have both aspects.
They both have
But one is primary and the other is secondary.
Yeah, what's the main point of it, right?
Yeah.
We're going to see over here, he's going to take it even further, that even in the part of Teira, which is a mitzvah, yeah? There's a mitzvah to learn Teira.
Right.
Even in that, since it's Teira, then there's going to be differences. So this is what he says further. To do mitzvahs, everyone has to do mitzvahs. There's no exceptions. But Torah, there's different levels in learning Torah. There's different levels. The real obligation of Torah is the real. There's the obligation. You have to study Torah day and night. Always learn Torah. But this is only someone that's in a koil or whatever. He's sitting and learning all day. But someone is in business. With them learning one perek in the morning, one perek at night, they're doing their obligation of Agisa B'Yem B'Layla. Torah made differences. When it comes to Torah, the Eibishter told us that here, one person like this and one person like that. Even if we find that in regard to businessman, that Torah should be your essential thing, and your work is just a side job, it's a side thing. Hainu, what does it mean? Kva, not in time. When Hainish Yibchin is Kvius benefesh. Just know that the Alter Rebbe made the idea of Kvius Itmatere before it was a Kvius in time. This set time I'm going to be there. And Alter Rebbe stressed the idea of Kvius It means Kvius benefesh, that this is where I'm set. Not just a set time. The time that I'm designating is I'm designated. That's my real being. That's the idea of Teros HaKva. This is where I am. What's my goal? I'm waiting for the moment to go learn. You would say the difference between
turn off your cell phones. Turn off the cell phones when you're learning.
Yeah. They say there's a difference of two people. One person the whole day is learning, and at night he takes his paper. A whole day is learning, and at night he takes the paper and he falls asleep with the papers. There's another person the whole day is in business. And at night he takes a sefer and he falls asleep with the sefer. Yeah. Who's better?
I don't know.
So there's a svara to say, this guy learned the whole day. And the other hand you say, but with what did he go to sleep? What was his last bit, when his last time to be up? What was he looking for? What was his goal? He's waiting finally, and chap the paper. That's, now I could. But the other, if I cared, the whole day is rushed, you have to do this, that. But then where is he expressing himself? Where is he waiting for the last one? I have finally a minute I could be there. He's gonna chap a sefer learn. Even if he falls asleep, but that's where he really is. That was the kavanah of kvis itin, that the person should set himself that this should be his thing. The gam beoski b'masomatan, even when he works, why am I working? Just to make money and have food to eat? No, in order to make money, we will have time to learn Torah. Well, one of the Talmud Torah l'kayim mitzvahs, and to teach his children to learn Torah and to do mitzvahs. But this is all by learning Torah. There's these differences. But in doing mitzvahs, harikol Yisrael shovim. All the Yidden are equal. Everyone's obligated to do mitzvahs. But in Shchiv and learning Torah, not everyone's equal. Like business people, and there's more. There's even it says Amor Sheini Yochel Ilmid, and you can speak Dvar B'Teilim Beheter. Dvar B'Teilim, the Rebbe says in Tanya. That also it's a different category. You can't learn. I mean, once Abzal Moroz used to bring about it. What does it mean about Dvar B'Teilim Beheter? Kigein Amor Sheini Yochel Ilmid. What does it mean Amor that can't learn? He says today we don't even know what that means. If he even knows one pasuk, he knows Torah Tziva Lonu Meisha Meirosha Kilos Yankiv. Say it the whole day. It's a part of Torah. You know it. Learn it the whole day. Who's stopping you? Shein Yochalim. He's so illiterate. He doesn't even know how to say the word Torah. Tziva Lonu Meisha. I don't know. You have to look for such a man. But anyways, so there's different levels in the obligation of Torah. That's it. It's 10 o'clock.
No, go ahead.
Gam Bozeh.
So this goes back and proves the fact that
when it comes to mitzvahs, there's no ischalkes, right? Just like in the essential idea of rotzen, there's no limitations. Also, who's going to be obligated? Everyone's going to be obligated equally.
So then how do you explain according to this the kavanah of the mitzvahs? What does that come and bring out the pratius of the mitzvahs, the details?
Depends how many CC.
So we spoke before about kavanas and mitzvahs, which expresses the details of the mitzvahs. But how does that really come in, the kavanah? Why do we bring that picture and say that there's different kavanah for the mitzvahs? Because you can say every mitzvah can really have it.
That if you speak in kavanah seichel, there's differences, the different levels.
45 minutes.
But mitzvahs are nonetheless, you do them just because of lesson. Just because
there's two pratim mitzvahs. There's the rotzna mitzvahs. There's the kavanah klolis that I have to do the Eibishter's will. There's kavanah protis.
So you have to have for every mitzvah. Okay, fine. So that also has. So everything has hagbala and ischalkus.
Yeah, and the bli ischalkus. That's the rotzna.
Right. That's right.
First, he's saying mitzvahs good for both things. Then he brought it in general was the rotzna mitzvah and Teda mitzvahs.
And going back to the original conversation, Shakochas Asman and Bain, they're mislabish in that, which means they have an adkan. Every koch has an adkan.
Limit, yeah. And
but at the same time, it comes with a package of. The koch comes with a package. It has its focus.
It has its focus, has details to it. Yeah.
אבל כולם צריכים להשיג תפילין. בעל עסק וגם תלמיד חכם.
קיום התורה
קיום המצווה.
קיום זה המצווה.
Yeah. Even there's a difference. That's the thing. Even the Kiyum mitzvah, not just understanding, even there there's a Mechura. I'm learning because Ayin told me to. But even that, since it's connected, Teda, the main thing of Teda is understanding. There's going to be a difference every person according to. He's going to say we have 3 levels.
There's going to be a difference in the quality of the mitzvah? Or
he's going to say in the quantity, how much time, and is it the whole day? Is it a lot of the day, or it's only a little bit, twice a day? I can learn 1 halach in the morning, 1 halach at night, if I'm not shaykh learning. Even though, but he's going to say it's under one line, tiroson kva. I have to set myself in Teda. But how do I set myself? Is it by putting my whole self into it, the whole day into it? Or saying to myself, this is my real self. That could be every person according to what it is. That's what he's saying. Because Teda is bad, which is mislabish, which comes into understanding. Therefore, there can't be everyone equal. In mitzvahs, it's the maise. I'm acting, I'm doing. Shaking and Teda is I'm taking it in. It's becoming part of me. And that's going to be a difference. Every person according to his capability. He says, even when we say that the Bali Asokim are not so obligated like the Yeshvi, there's also different levels. There's Bali Asik that they're connected to Teda. They could learn. So if we use Tiros and Kva, so then the meaning of Tiros and Kva is Bekvius Bizman. They have to have a time, a full hour. They should be learning. Someone that's not shaykh to learning. Someone that never learned. He also has the obligation of learning Teda. It's a part of a mitzvah. Learning Teda is a mitzvah like all mitzvahs. Everyone's obligated to learning Teda. Actually, they're learning with one thing in the morning, one thing at night. And in them, the meaning of the Mishnah says that should be Tiros Kva means that I should be set there. I should feel myself there.
So התלמיד חכם is not בעניין עשה תורתך קבע is קבע בזמן, not בנפש.
It's bizman also, right?
We can understand.
Not just benefesh.
Yeah.
You need also zman. Over there it means mamash.
Benefesh is for the one that's not shaykh.
It's not shaykh. The only thing you can have is kfis benefesh. Like you say, it says birchas hatera. We make in the morning birchas hatera. It says the Alter Rebbe says you have to make birchas hatera with the joy greater than any joy in the world. The biggest joy you have is the Eibusha gave us hatera. Asher bocher bonim mikol am v'nos lonas terosei. That's the biggest pleasure.
Teresan, to the Mefarshim ask, why is it that you make Birchas Teda in the morning, then you go off to work, a whole day, you're working 8-10 hours, and you come back at night, and you learn a little bit. Why don't you have to make Birchas Teda again? It's a half-sick. So one of the explanations is that you're never Masir Das from Torah. You have an obligation, it's always in your thing. Right now I have to work, okay, right now I have to work. But benafshe, you're always. I have to be in.
I'm waiting for opportunity. I'll be able to learn. Right.
That's it. So you have this Indian. This is mamash this Indian. You have it in Nigla. You have it in Chassidus.
Yeah. Kol zeh. Harei. So what do we see? She'inedei ma'achiu beisekatei lachiu b'kima mitzvahs. is not the same obligation of Teira to mitzvahs. The kol zahu b'teira mitzvahs. This is true in Teira mitzvahs. Why? Sha'teira mibchinas chochmah. Because Teira is from chochmah. Sheyesh b'zeh madreges chilukim. There's different levels in chochmah. A mitzvah in Ratz and Elyon she'ein b'zeh chalkas madreges. In will, there's no different levels. This is the difference in Teira mitzvahs. This is way back where we spoke before. In mitzvahs itself, you also find this, or with protis, or with mitzvahs atzmon. In mitzvahs itself, you also have these two things. A hefresh bein kavonas ha-mitzvahs, let some kiyum ha-mitzvahs inside the rotzen sheben. If I'm doing the mitzvah inside the kavonas ha-mitzvah, then there's how deep I get it, and there's different levels. And every mitzvah is a different aspect. But the doing the mitzvah, this is what they want, that doesn't divide, there's no different levels. The whole mitzvah tzorach is Beis kavonas. This is, we find, every mitzvah has two kavonas. We have aleph ha-kavona prodi yeshua, this special, specified kavanah for this individual mitzvah. Then there is Bais, Ubchinas kavanah Silmach Shamayim. What's the kavanah? The kavanah is I'm taking upon myself the yoke of heavenly kingdom, L'kayim Ritzeni, to do what Eibush wants, Ula'ov de B'chol Min Aveda Seven, to do what, like a slave, work for the Eibush like a slave. That's the kavanah. I do the mitzvah, not the Eibush slave. I belong to the Eibush. That doesn't differentiate whether which mitzvah it is. Therefore we find that most mitzvahs of the Torah concludes Ani Havai. The movement. What do you have to conclude? Ani Havai. Of course, the whole Torah is the Eibishter. Ayin. Oh, Shazel, Bais, and Yom Sheva mitzvahs. There's two concepts in every mitzvah. There's the Havai of the mitzvah, and there's the Ani in the mitzvah. The Kavonas are mitzvahs. Zel Kamesha mitzvahs Tluim Shem Havai. The mitzvahs are told in Shem Havai. That's Kavonas are mitzvahs. Which in your Ramshach? Chochmeh, Bineh, Midas, Malchus. That's what we say in the Shalom.